Okay, so day 4. This one was one of the most complicated, seemingly complicated photos and daunting photos to edit and to take, really, of the trip. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had an idea. So, I'll just back up a little bit and give you some backstory. So, the night before, which was day 3 where we took those polarizing shots, um, we found this little canyon, which is, I think it's called Navajo Canyon or something, Navajo Trail, but it's off of Sunset Point, which is actually Sunrise Point, because this is where it's taken from, and you see the sunrise, not the sunset. Anyway, it's from Sunset Point, and we went down in it, and we got these cool cliffs shots from the bottom of these hoodoos, looking straight up with the 10mm, and then we were there at night, so we got some sort of cool star trail pictures. Um, that one I really like. It's sort of like a plain crow eagle thing. And then we went up back to the top to the rim, and you can see there's actually the trail right there, and then there's one right here. And we took all these night shots. This one was from a 15-minute exposure out over the hoodoos. And this was about 2 a.m. Then we went back to the tent, slept for a couple hours, and then came back at maybe 4:30. I think it was 4:30. Sunrise was supposedly at 4:45, but it wasn't. That's just when it started getting light. Sunrise was actually around 6. So, in the meantime, I took some photos of the night sky. So you can see it's starting to get light here. This one was taken at 3:48 a.m., so well before 4. Then, as it started to get lighter, took some more pictures, and I also moved the camera down. So you can see the horizon line changes. I was shooting at a 10mm, so that's a lot of distortion. But I had an idea. So then, sun finally came up. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So we got these nice, exposure for the shadows right here. Really beautiful colors, but we got this intense flare. And then in this one we got this nice sky. So I'm like, how do I, one, combine this image, the sky from this image, with this image of the ground, but without having the sun flare, and I also wanted to add in this starry night sky up above. So what I did is I took a picture with my hand covering the sun, acting as a lens shade, so now there's no lens flare, but I still get this nice exposure for the shadows. Then what I did is I combined this photo with this photo with, I think it was this one or something, to get this photo. And this is 3 or 4, it's 3 or 4, whatever I just counted off, photos combined. And let's see if I can open this in the Lightroom to show you guys, or Photoshop, show you guys the different layers. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we got a layer mask there. So that's the black painted, and that's over this sky layer. So then this one, you can see, all we did, it's basically a straight crop across the horizon. You can kind of see right there, now that I've pointed it out, that straight line across. But it's really not noticeable in this look. And especially when you add this in, it's not, that mask isn't that bad. So I'm not going to say that. So then back in here, for this one, so there's there's the before. So it's a good photo, some nice colors, but it doesn't have that pop. There's no real dark areas, there's no real light areas. It's kind of flattish. Edited, should have added that saturation down here a ton. We added this saturation back in here. See, most of this was with local adjustments. You can see right here is right affecting that area, and that's upping the saturation and clarity. And right here is increasing the highlights, lowering exposure, increasing or decreasing the shadows, and upping the saturation. So that adds sort of a saturated vignette. And then this one is upping the saturation in here. And then once we go over to this photo, got some more saturation in there, more vignetting there. And then if I remember right, a lot of it, yeah, this is where the main part comes in. So you can see without and with, without and with. So with this one, you can see it affects this area entirely, and then it feathers out here. So this area and this area is unaffected by this lower one. And this lower lowers the contrast, raises the shadows, raises the clarity, and raises the saturation. So it's giving it that pop and vibrance and whatever that thing is, down to these hoodoos and the trail and the bluff and all that stuff down below that you would expect from a sharp sunrise. Then up above, I did sort of my classic star effect, so saturation all the way up, so you get those nice little different colors in the actual stars. You can see that that's not noise, that's actual stars. They're different colors. Clarity is all the way up, so that really makes the stars pop. And then the highlights up to even brighten the stars further. So that's pretty much what went into this. As far as exposures times went, for this one, which I believe was the ground, it was 10mm lens, ISO 100, f/22, so it was bright out, and I wanted a longer exposure to get more of those rich colors in, and half a second. I was on the tripod, so it didn't really matter. Then for the night sky, ISO 800, 10mm, f/2.8, and 45 seconds. So even though these have the same overall tonal range, they're both correctly exposed. You can see the settings widely vary. Got a really high ISO and then a really long exposure time. And then in the middle, got, I think it was this one, f/22 in 1/8 of a second. So this was basically the same time as this one. I was shooting bracketed, so it underexposes by 1.5 stops, correctly exposes, and then overexposes. And I believe the one I used was the underexposed by 1.5 stops, or maybe used 2 stops. And that was the photo from that day.